So I'm starting with 3½ tablespoons of flour. This is a very old-fashioned recipe. It comes from my grandmother's recipe box where it's handwritten, and it was from like the 40s or 50s. So I have a cup of sugar. Now you might notice here that I'm putting it right into a sieve and then putting it right into the pan, and that's just all a sort of little modern adaptation, 1 cup of sugar, as to how to get it so that we get the bumps out. That means instead of using a sifter, we're just using a sieve and we're putting it right in our pudding pot. And I have 3 tablespoons of cocoa. Best quality cocoa you can find. I always have it in my cupboard. I love to make hot cocoa, I love to bake with it, and then a nice hefty pinch of salt. Because you really want to balance out that sweet with a little bit of salt. So then I just quickly take it and pop it through here so that there's nothing but smooth, smooth, smooth. You can get in there with your fingers if you need to. Thing about pudding is you really don't want to have those chunks of cocoa in there. You want everything to be completely mixed up. All right, that's perfect. All right, so then get your stove on. This is so simple. If you've never made pudding at home, you'll see. And just whisk it up a little bit in your pan to make sure that you've mixed all your dry ingredients. And then I have a 1.5 cups of milk, whole milk. And I'm just gonna measure it out here. Now it's gonna thicken because we have our flour in there. It's gonna start to thicken up a little bit. So carefully pour it in, whisk as you're pouring. You wanna make sure that you have a smooth pudding. You need to get all that sugar dissolved over the heat, and it's coming together beautifully. Be a little patient. If you love chocolate mousse, this is going to be one of your favorite desserts too, because it's not so dissimilar from chocolate mousse. And just make sure that you're getting everything in the corners in there, because as soon as that heat starts to thicken everything up, you don't want to have big chunks and lumps. All right, oh, I can already smell the warm chocolate. I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter. So I'll add it in 2 lots so that it melts easier, 2 tablespoons. And I'm gonna leave this here for a second by itself. The butter is starting to melt. There's no big lumpy lumps in here. And I can leave it by itself for just a second, but I gotta keep my eye on it. Now I have an egg. An egg is also gonna help thicken it up and make it luscious and delicious. But there's one little thing, you can't just dump an egg into hot pudding or else you're gonna have scrambled eggs in pudding, and that's not what we're going for here. Now for a little lesson in how not to scramble your egg in your pudding. And that's called tempering, where you just want to take a little bit of your warm milk, not too much, your cocoa milk, and you put it into your egg, and then you start to whisk it. And that way, it doesn't turn into scrambled eggs. It just kind of gets it used to having a little bit of warmth in there, because the egg is, even if you've brought it to room temperature, it's still going to be a lot cooler than this warm liquid. So then, it's mixed up, it's nice, and it's ready to just do its job, kind of thickening things up without turning into scrambled eggs. And the butter's melted and it's beautiful and smooth. So I'm going to add in the eggs right away and make sure that I'm stirring all the while. And then one last thing, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You should put this in right after you put your egg in, but as long as you get it in, because there's nothing like that flavor of vanilla with chocolate. I've got a few little ramekins here prepared, and I'm just going to pour them right into the ramekins. You can put it in little individual ramekins. You could put it into one bowl if you just want to have a bowl of pudding. Put it into the fridge, cover it with plastic wrap. Oopsie. Well, if I spill any, that just means I'm going to lick it up myself with my fingers when no one's looking. Thanks for watching. Hungry for more? Click here for more great recipes, and to subscribe, click here. Check back every week for more craveable recipes, leave a comment, and tell me what you think. And don't forget, head over to our other channels for Everyday Food with Sarah Carey, Martha Stewart Weddings, and the Martha Stewart channel.